air signs, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do a daily reading for you, okay? So these readings, I'll probably do, I'm thinking about maybe 3 a week, and they'll be numbered. They're not going to be dated. So it's really about whenever you find them is probably when you need them, okay? So let's get started here. All right, so I'm using 4 oracle cards to start. They might end up being related, okay? They might show a story of some kind, or they might be completely different. So far, it seems like they do end up being related in some way for water and earth. So we'll see what happens for you guys. And then we'll clarify with tarot, okay? But these are not meant to be long readings. These are meant to give some daily inspiration or daily advice or guidance, okay? All right, so let's see. What do we got here? What do we have? It says, do the work. All right, so it says, it's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. So what does that mean for you? You know, that can mean a lot of things. You know, for some of you, watching tarot might be inspiring you on your own spiritual journey, okay? It might be about doing, you probably hear it out in the, you know, in the tarot community about doing the work, okay? And so, you know, I feel like that's what this is probably saying. For some of you, this could be saying, you know, if you're not giving 100% into something that you really want, maybe there's some work to be done, okay? If this is a spiritual growth situation for you, doing the work really means addressing certain things that, you know, in your life, if you think about certain moments in your life that have been difficult or challenging or have presented you with, you know, the energy of struggle, it's really about reflecting on those situations and what you're learning from those situations. Do you see a certain pattern in your life? You know, are you attracting certain people? Asking yourself why that is, okay? So, yeah, doing the work, however it applies to you. Usually when people start watching or finding tarot, it's because they're on some type of spiritual journey. It might start off with, you know, the fact that you want to know what's going on with somebody in your life, which is fine, you know. But then you find along the way that it's about more than that for you, okay? So we'll take a look at this after we look at all of the cards here. And then we have, let yourself feel all your emotions. So your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. So that's interesting. You know, this is very important when it comes to manifesting what you want. It's about, you know, allowing yourself to feel whatever, you know, not beating yourself up for feeling what you're feeling. You know, addressing it, feeling it, and releasing it is actually how you do the work. there might be things in your past or situations in your past that, you really haven't allowed yourself to feel. And by allowing yourself to feel it, that allows you to address it possibly and heal it and then release it. Okay? So it's important to let yourself feel all of the emotions. It's okay to be sad when there's something to be sad about. But working through it, doing the work, getting through it, gets you to the other side that much faster. And it also, moves you towards joy. Joy is what is the energy and the vibration of bringing in what you ultimately want. Okay, but if you don't allow yourself to feel all of your emotions, work it out, heal it, and release it, then that's the energy of getting stuck. Okay, all right, so we'll pull a tarot card for this one as well to see possibly what it is that you need to feel in your life right now. And then we have, look at this, Between Worlds. These cards, just like in the other readings, are really kind of speaking together here. So this card is saying to let yourself feel all of your emotions. You might want to be, on this side. You might want to be in joy. You might want to experience abundance in whatever aspect of your life you want to experience that in, whether it's in relationship or work or family or financial. But this side, I feel, needs to be addressed. And that's why you're feeling a little bit between worlds. The world that you're in possibly right now, which doesn't feel as good as you would like, versus moving towards a world where things seem easier. Things seem like they come without a lot of effort. It's this world is about allowing things to come to you. This world is about, trying to assert yourself to get what it is that you want, versus allowing things to come towards you because you're in a high vibration. Okay? There's a big difference. So let's see where you're at here. And then finally here we have, look at this, healing. It says, now is a time for you to give or receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. So there could be something about your healing process, which we discussed over here when it comes to doing the work and letting yourself feel all of your emotions. You might come across somebody, or somebody might be in your life that actually heals with you or benefits from you doing the work of healing. If you're in a situation where, you're getting frustrated with a connection or a relationship, it's probably because there's some type of healing, and some people get frustrated hearing that. I get that, okay? Because you might say to yourself, well, what does that really mean? What does it really mean to heal? It really means bringing yourself to a place of joy and being in the vibration and feeling like you have something even before you have it. So if there's somebody that you want in your life, okay, I'll use this example because, of course, I do love readings. If there's somebody that you want in your life, think about what it would feel like to have them in your life, making space for them in your house, thinking about what it would be like to have dinner with them. What would you talk about? Thinking like that, almost feeling as though they're there with you, okay, is actually much healthier and much more healing than thinking about all the reasons that you might be angry at them, or you might, your ego might have been hurt because of them, or they made a decision that you didn't want them to make. Everybody has free will, and they are on their own journey. They're on their own path. Whether your paths are meant to cross, okay, is really about, whether or not the two of you are in the same vibration, okay? And that might be over some people's heads, okay? I get that. It might inspire you to do some research on it, okay? Which isn't a bad thing. All right, so let's see where healing, what you're healing right now, air signs. All right, so doing the work, which is really about, at the end of the day, healing, okay? Let's see. What do we have here? We're not doing reversals in this particular reading. All right, so we have the King of Swords. So this is a very unemotional place to be, okay? We've got swords, we're doing air signs, all right? So the King of Swords, very intellectual, very analytical. You're very, very well-spoken, okay? And generally very ethical. And, I feel like right now might be trying to cut through a little bit of mental fog. Like you might be in your head, you might be feeling very justified in some way when it comes to other people. You might feel very justified in the work that you're doing. You might be avoiding some of the emotions that you might need to feel, okay? That's what I feel from the King of Swords. You might be avoiding feeling the deep feelings, maybe feeling something that needs to be addressed or is a little bit hurtful. It feels like that's what needs to be worked on, okay, is really allowing yourself to feel. This is very analytical. This is very, very much in the mental space. You are in your full air glory here, okay? Not really wanting to feel something, okay? All right, so let's see what that might be. We've got Knight of Wands. All right. So, Knight of Wands, is an energy that comes and goes. So, it feels like what we're looking at here is when those feelings come up or when they, bubble up to the surface for you, what is it that you do at that point? Do you allow yourself to feel it or do you push them down? I feel like for a lot of you, you push those feelings down and you get back into your analytical mind, okay? And this is saying maybe the next time they bubble up to the surface, this might be about a love that's not in your life right now, okay? It says to allow yourself to feel it because you're struggling in between these worlds here. And you want to get out of this area here that doesn't feel as good as this area would. Okay? So it's about allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel to heal. That rhymes. Okay. And then we've got, what do we have here? All right, so we have the Moon, card of Pisces. Okay. And I mean, the Moon, really there's a lack of clarity, I feel like, as to, for you, and it's possibly what you spend a lot of your time thinking about, as to, how do I get from here to here? How do I go from not having what I want, possibly in a relationship, to having what I want? So the Moon is about kind of being in the dark, being fearful. There are fears here that you might need to address. Fears around allowing yourself to feel something. fears about something bubbling up to the surface. You know, if there's somebody in your life right now, maybe you're in separation with them, maybe maybe they're at a distance from you, maybe they're right in front of you and you're having a difficult time not only feeling the emotions, but showing the emotions to another person. And so, you know, the moon is emotion, okay? It's fear of emotion. So somebody here is afraid to feel, and it's keeping them really, I mean, if you're afraid of something, then you probably don't have a lot of it in your life. So there's a sense of lack there. And you're attaching perhaps to the vibration of lack. So kind of the opposite of what you really want in your life, which is abundance. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be love. It could be a specific person. It could be, again, a job. It could be anything. I feel like for a lot of you, this is probably about relationship. So what's the answer here is healing certain things that, especially if you find that you've had patterns in your life. Why is it that you've had patterns? Doesn't mean that, you know, that they weren't meant to happen that way. Okay, so it doesn't mean that by healing that you necessarily did anything wrong. Not from Spirit's perspective, because it was definitely something that you needed to learn. So what do we have here? We have 9 of Swords. So instead of spending time focusing on the lessons that were learned from situations or from relationships maybe that have gone sideways a little bit, you choose to focus on the worst case scenario. Okay? 9 of Swords is worrying about the worst case scenario. Barney. Hey. Shh. Hey, you want to go in timeout? All right. That's so mean. He never goes in timeout, just so you know. Okay. So 9 of Swords really is about focusing on worst case scenario, creating stories that are assuming the worst instead of focusing on healing. You know, this is focusing desperately on what you desire or what you want and feeling like you can't have it. This has to go. Man, if there is one card that I would like to knock out of the tarot deck, it's this one. But it comes up all the time because as human beings, this is something that we do. You know, it's much easier to think the worst than to have faith and, you know, assume the best. Because if you look back on your life, really, usually the worst case scenario doesn't happen. So this is a complete waste of time. This isn't. This is a complete, fantastic use of your time. Okay? All right. So, clearly, for air signs, this is about healing and attracting in what it is that you really want. And not assuming the worst, not being fearful of making certain changes or or feeling certain emotions. We can't be afraid of feeling certain things, and there's definitely somebody here that pushes things down, but they keep boiling up. They keep coming back up. If you are finding yourself thinking about somebody all of the time and you don't really know why, okay? Or you don't want to think about somebody anymore and they keep popping up in your energy, it's because something needs to be healed about that situation. Something needs possibly to be spoken about, talked about. Or, you know, that could be a message that you're missing out on a lot of beautiful, loving feelings and emotions that could be shared between the two of you. Okay? All right, air signs. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing these and they'll be numbered, like I said. And I just feel called to do it just to give, you know, give you guys hope, inspiration, support, you know, in a different way outside of the regular general readings. So I hope you enjoy them. Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you have a great next 24 hours. All right. All right. Have a great one. Bye.